We are with Reverend Banjo Joe. Here we're still at the Uncommon Cow in Grafton. Apparently you have a lot of knowledge about the history of Grafton. So when was it, do you know, when was it settled? When was it incorporated?
Yeah, this originally was an Indian settlement. The Hassanimisco Indian tribe, settled, lived here. And then the English were coming through, making their way towards Connecticut. And along with those people, there was a man, Reverend John Eliot, and the Massachusetts government had suggested that he and others like him bring Christianity to the Indian tribes. And it was more politically motivated than religious, because there are other Indian tribes that weren't as friendly, and they thought if we could introduce Christianity and partner with the Hassanimisco Indians, who were a clan of the Nipmucks, that might help us to have more peaceful times in the area if we have a relationship with them. So that's how it all started and evolved. And eventually, in 1735, the town was incorporated and renamed from Hassanameset to Grafton. And that was a political favor to Charles Fitzroy, the Duke of Grafton, in Grafton, England.
Okay.
So that's how we got our name.
Okay, excellent. What is this town mostly known for in terms of commerce? Was it a mill town? Was it mostly farming?
Yes to all of that.
Okay.
It started out more so as farming in the 1700s. And by the early 1800s, we had some mills in town and shops, and the town was growing. And then we started into more manufacturing because of the Quinsigamon River in the north end of town and the Blackstone River in the south end. There was good spots to put up mills along the riverways. One of the earliest shops or businesses we had in town was a gun shop in North Grafton on Waterville Street. It started by Ethan Allen, and he was manufacturing revolvers over there next to that little waterfall at Pratt's Pond on Waterville Street. The condos now, but that was the shop. And down in South Grafton, 3 large textile mills sprang up. And as a result, we had 3 mill villages in South Grafton. There was Farnersville, Fisherville, and Saundersville. And those industries thrived until about the 1930s. And then as labor was cheaper down south, the mills up here were struggling and basically evolved into other things and folded up. But we were, a mill community as well.
And what kinds of mills were they?
Mostly textile, cotton and woolen. In North Grafton is Washington Mills, and they've been around for about 150 years. They're an abrasive company. And, they started out, 150 years ago, taking emery ore and making abrasives out of it that was used to polish farm equipment, farm tools.
Oh.
And they're still in business today.
Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah. And shoe manufacturing as well?
That's an interesting story in that there was a company, a mill, going out this way on 140 towards Upton, in Silver Lake. In that area, there was a manufacturing space there. They created kits, shoe kits, and it had all the materials you need to make a pair of shoes.
Oh.
And everything, I believe, was all like, say, cut the size, so all you had to do was assemble it. It was like, buying a model car today, for a child to assemble. Because here in Grafton Center, there's no public waterways to power any kind of a mills. So South Street and a little bit of North Street, there was a lot of little shops there. And they manufactured the shoes in these little houses. You go up South Street here, all the mansions are on the right-hand side of the road. That's where the shop owners lived. Across the street, the smaller houses were the tenements where their workers worked and rented and lived there. So that was referred to as the dime and the dollar sides of the street. And that's why you look at today, and the houses on one side of the road are so different from the others, because there was a lot of small manufacturing shoe cobblers, making shoes. And all the kits came from Silver Lake, that area. And even in the 1950s and 60s as a child, that area was still referred to as Kitville. Just like South Grafton was Fisherville and Saundersville and Farmersville. Around Silver Lake, we still call that Kitville because
Wow.
of that plant that used to be there in the 1800s.
That's fun.
Yeah.
Today, is it more of a bedroom community for like Worcester,
Yeah.
Boston?
Yeah. I mean, years ago, and even when I was a child, people who lived in town worked in town. And this room we're in now at one time was Gaudet Insurance Agency. I came here to renew my car insurance. The room back there used to be the town clerk's office when this was the town hall. I went in that room to register to vote. And the town clerk, when she saw my name, oh, your mother is so-and-so and your uncle. That's the way it was back then.
And your background, tell us about how you got here.
Yeah, I'm a townie.
Okay.
Yeah, I've lived here all my life. Went to Grafton Public Schools and never left town. It wasn't my plan, but that's the way it worked out.
When did you start playing banjo, or did you start it with another instrument?
When I was a teenager, like all the other teenage boys around the 1960s, I learned to play the guitar, and I played mostly folk music. And I did have a little group in college called the Jump Leg Jubilee, and we did folk music, and we branched out. I actually played the mandolin, and somebody else played the banjo. And we did that while we were in college. And then after that, we went our separate ways, got married, had kids. And my guitar that I bought when I was in high school was just collecting dust under the bed, not for years, but for decades. And in the meantime, having kids, I got involved in a lot of activities in town, including youth sports. And I spent about 25 years with baseball in town as a president of the Little League and a coach in the Little League. And then I owned and operated my own baseball team for high school kids. The boys would come play for me in the summertime when the varsity season was done at school. And this was the Grafton Lake Sox baseball club. And so I did about 25 years, and some of it overlapped with Little League as well. And when I was done with that, I thought, I need a hobby. I need something to do because I'm not coaching baseball anymore. And I thought, I could play the guitar, but that kind of bores me. So I wanted to learn how to play the banjo. So it was like around 2013, 12 years ago. I taught myself how to play the banjo, and I barely even touch my guitars now.
Okay, so are you going to play us a song?
Sure. I hope you can stand it.
And I understand it's about Grafton.
Yeah. As I was writing the history of Grafton with my friend and colleague, Jane Wilson, that's when I was learning how to play the banjo. So I was coming across different songs that reflected Grafton's history just exactly the way they were written. And then I came across other songs and I thought, if I change a word or a line, it's going to be more specific to Grafton. I have a couple songs. One of them reflects the history of the churches in town. It came from a song called The Church in the Wildwood. And then another song called The Farmer's Toast, which is a farmer giving thanks to his crew at the end of the year during harvest with a big festival and dinner.
Okay.
There's a little white church on the common. It stands in my memory each day. Seems I can hear those church bells ringing many miles away. How sweet on a Sunday morning, the whole countryside would gather there. They'd all kneel down at the altar, lift up their voice in prayer. Oh, the church on the common, that little white church, it's a church I love so well. I'm sad and lonely for that little white church on the hill. So here's a song about the farmer. Come all you jolly fellows who love to be mellow, attend unto me and rest easy. A pint when it's quiet, come boys you may try it, for thinking can drive a man crazy. By plowing and sowing, reaping and mowing, King Nature he affords me a plenty. I have a cellar well stored in this plentiful smorgasbord. My garden provides me every pleasure. I have barns, I have bowers, I have fields and flowers, and the lark is my morning alarmer. So you jolly boys now, here's a toast to the plow. Long life and success to the farmer.
Awesome.
Thank you. So as I mentioned, I have 2 other songs I'd like to quickly play for you as my thanks for being here today. I have played primarily in nursing homes, assisted living facilities, that sort of thing, entertaining, senior people, my age and a few years older. Thank you for letting me be here today.
Thank you for being here.
And what I've done is I took a couple of songs. One of them was from the 1960s, a folk music group called the Rooftop Singers, and they had an AM Top 40 hit song. I took this song and I changed the words a little bit. And then a song by Willie Nelson.
Oh.
Walk right in, step right down. Come to the uncommon cow now. Walk right in, step right in. Have a coffee or ice cream now. Everybody's sipping and everybody's licking. Do you want to lose your mind? Walk right in, sit right down, come to the uncommon cow right now. On the road again. There's 2 grannies on the road again. The life they love is making new friends. There's 2 grannies on the road again. On the road again, there's 2 grannies, they're cruising down the highway. They're the best of friends, checking out these towns along the highways and the byways. On the road again, I see 2 grannies on the road again. The life they love is checking out all these new towns and making friends. There's 2 grannies on the road again. Yes, there's 2 grannies on the road again.
Yay! I think we have our new theme song. That's awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
That was amazing. I love it.